Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another instrument cluster from my EuroVan, but this is actually a diesel one. This cluster has been here in my lab for 4 months. This is Douglas Gardiner from Nevada. I'm going to show you a little bit of the first video so you understand what was happening on this one. And I'm going to put the link of the description for that video on the, description, sorry. But yeah, so this cluster was completely shorted. It was somebody took it apart and was missing screws. Damages components. There are normal on some of that, and I replaced them, but it was actually even more. So it took me almost 4 months to locate the component. These are 1993, 1996. So it is very hard sometimes to find a part. And I talked to Douglas, and I said, as long as you are patient, I will find it, because I have the same thing with another customer from a marine boat. There was maybe a component that I couldn't find, and it took me 3 months to get it, but I fixed it. It was covered under warranty, and I have already previously attempted or did a repair. It lasted for like 4 or 5 months, and I said, don't worry about it. I will be taking care of you. They're good customers. And they were very patient, and they find out that, eventually I was able to correct the computer, fix it, and it's now happily. And they left me a very good review. And I hope Douglas, after he enjoys this car again, because he hasn't been able to drive the car for almost 4 months because of the cluster, right? So, all right, so I want to show you, I still on the process of putting it back together. So right now I have it here. As you see, let me get you a little closer. So I have already replaced all the stepper motors, voltage regulator, and everything. And as you see, all those stepper motors are new. But let me take you over to the screen. So this is the video that I made for him. And you see that was 4 months ago. So, wow, you're going to say, well, yes, sometimes when it's a part that is hard to get, it's just the way it is. So in here, I'm going to show you just the process of, I think in this one, I show a lot of like removing the whole components, and that you can see on that video. And that's what I was going to say. If you want to see what is involved and how is to carefully do this, because that's the problem. A lot of people see a video like this and they think that, oh, I can do that. And then they end up destroying something that is impossible to replace. And that's why, be careful what you try to or attempt to repair. Take those facts in consideration, because sometimes it's better let a professional, a person that has done it multiple times and is accustomed, like myself, to do the repair. And I will see, and obviously I would love if you have any of this or an automotive computer or so, to send it to Mike Salazar Diagnostics. I'm going to put the link of my website on the title for this video. So actually, it will be not a link. You will have to copy and paste it, but at least you know what my website is. And if you're here, please subscribe to the channel. That really helps my small business be shown by YouTube. The more subscriber, the more they're going to promote my videos, and that really, really helped me. So thank you so much for all those of you that do that. All right, let me take you over to the part that I was, again, you can see that video where I go into all the areas that I found, like, what was that? All that was there. But let me just show you, which is probably the end of this video. Let me see. Let's play it. This is what I need. All right, stop the video just a second so I can locate the exact part that I need to show you. So in there, I'm putting a needle on the temperature. Worse. But I want you to see how the screen will shut off as soon as I try to move the temperature, and it died. You see how it's shorting. You see, it just did it. So you see it's now going up, it's reading the temperature, and then it cycles. You see, again. So I'm going to take the audio out of there, but it was a complete short. and it goes up and down and up and down in amperage. I'm like, okay, that's exactly how that was one, how that this cluster was. So again, just a short commercial promise. If you're here, this is my website, MikeSalazarDiagnostics.com, and that's how my name is spelled, MAIC. In here, you can click on the black box when I'm hovering that red hand. It says click here to email us. If you click in there, that will open your email browser. The white box is for you to click and download that form, fill it up, and add it within the box with the module, instrument cluster, or modules that you're going to send. Just fill all the information and make sure that you sign it. And then in that paper, you have all my contact information, telephone address, email, everything. I have all that in here too. If you see on the upper left corner, I have my email in there, my telephone, and the shipping address is on the center of the bottom of the screen. All right, so let's go back to what we're here for. So let me finishing installing everything. I wanted to stop because I told Douglas that I wanted to record a little bit of a video, putting it together, because this is a very different instrument cluster as far as it's a diesel. So in the gasoline, you will have another screen in here, and this cover is very different. This is a completely very different cluster. Where's the other cover right here? Put my glasses on. Hopefully I'm not too much in the way now. I think I'm fine. So one needle is longer than the other one. On the big ones, that is for the speedometer. I usually put it on a place where it's not in there. Just because it's laying down, but that will be corrected when I am in there. And I just move it down to 0. And this one, that's all you need to do. Go to 0. We're going to do the same thing on the fuel. And we're going to bring it down to the 0 position. She's right there, a little more. And if you go, you can always spin, but the spin is slowly because otherwise you will damage the center of that needle and that will become too loose. Okay, that looks a lot good. I mean, a lot better. A lot good. All right. And then the last one, which is the temperature. And we do the same thing. In this one, you got to be careful because now you cannot spin it because we got the other needle. And that looks pretty good. I got the connector, the harness ready to go. Gonna get this a little closer. I can do this. Turn this lamp off. It's good for me, but I think it's too much light for that camera. And let me put something behind. I like to just keep it on that angle. Yeah, that's the perfect angle for you guys, I think. All right, so I got this one on. Just going to turn it on. We can see all the lights and everything. I'm going to put the blinkers. So you can see that in the high beam light. Let me move this a little bit this way. The height that I'm looking for. Yeah, I think that works. All right, you can see it has 267,858 miles. That is, if you go back and visit that first video, you will see that this is his mileage. And I have all files for gasoline, diesel, and V6 instrument clusters as well for all these EuroVans. So if you have one and it's not a V6 and you want to use it on a V6, then I can do it. That's not a problem. All right, so let me inject the speed, which is going to be 14 hertz. That should go over to 10 miles an hour. And that is perfectly in 10 miles an hour, which is great. Now I'm going to make the fuel level and the temperature move. It should usually go over to like half of temperature and quarter of fuel, which is pretty much where we are. Excellent. I can change this right here with this. Oh, you cannot see the decay boxes because of the zoom. So let me zoom out a little more. So you can see I have a decay box in here. When I'm providing those signals, it's just a little hard for me to show, but it is there, believe me. I think the most important will be for you guys to see what I'm about to do next. So, all right, so those signals are good. Let me bring the temperature up. That will slowly come up. And we can see that actually happening right now. And we can see now the high temperature warning. I'm going to come back to 70. And that light went off, which is good. So the temperature should come down, and it is. So that is excellent. All right, I'm going to move the speed up to make sure that we can see the speedometer working normal. And that is going to take a little longer because the knob on the simulator that I use, for some reason, it takes forever to start actually moving. Yeah, now it's working. And now I'm in 35 after spinning like 3 times. All right, so you can see that is working excellent. And I can move it up and down nice and normal, right? I don't want to keep it up at too high of a mileage because that is actually adding miles to the vehicle. And that I don't want to do. So I'm going to turn that signal off. Because otherwise, as you can see, I already went up to half a mile. And I don't want to add miles unnecessarily to the cluster. So there is another thing that I want to show you. Hopefully I still got that one. Let me go over to another video that I have. Give me just 1 second. Actually, I might be able to find it in history because I was working on that one just before. Or looking at that one just before. Yeah. Actually, I don't. Let me go back to there. Okay, so perfect. So I'm going to show you this is what they call hidden features. So what you can do with this cluster is hold this in, turn the ignition off, turn the ignition back on, and now that puts the cluster into the hidden features part. I'm going to turn needles off so we're not having anything in there. All right, so first I'm going to show you what I have on the other screen. That is for a gasoline. So do you see how the P1 is saying 5399? If we go over to this one, that one says 6063. The other one is a gasoline. This is a diesel. So let's go over to P2. Those are the same. This P3, I'm going to move now the other video to that same capture. Let me just find it because I start talking about the other thing that I was doing. Let me just play it 1 second. Right there. Okay. So we have here 31455. And now on the right corner, gonna be, that's as much as I can go. You can see 31462. So that is also a difference. Diesel, gasoline, right? So that is the one on the screen right now is the gasoline speedometer. And this is the diesel speedometer. So we have definitely different coding, right? That's what this cluster will read and says, okay, I need to read 3 notches per revolution for the tachometer or 2 notches per revolution per tachometer. Do I have a 6-cylinder or a 4-cylinder, or is this a diesel? So those are the calibrations that we're seeing in here in place. And also when we're injecting, if I go over to P6, when I'm injecting the speed, that should change every 7 rotations of the wheels. And if we see, that is actually changing. So that is reading the speed. You see how it's changing because of the speedometer. When I turn the speedometer off, it stops on whatever that count was. And it will change every 7 numbers. It's like a 1 revolution of the wheel. That's how these clusters are made. But yeah, as you can see, all this time and all my time talking to you guys and showing you, the cluster has not glitched one time at all. So I'm very, very happy for him because I can And I feel very, very happy too to be able to help somebody when a part like this is no longer available, and now he can go back and enjoy his car. So again, guys, thank you so much for visiting Mike Salazar Diagnostics. Thank you for all your help, for all your support. Please don't forget to subscribe, share my videos. That really helps me a lot. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.